G'day. So how can we protect our main line on our reels from a hard fighting fish that's trying to break us off on the bottom or on a piece of structure way down below? Well, there's a way to do it, and that's by adding something called trace to the end of your line, otherwise known as leader, because it leads the line, the terminal end if you like, where the hooks are on. So there's two ways of joining these leaders or traces to the end of your main line. The first way, if your green line is your main line, is to add a swivel. Okay, so we've got our swivel and then the trace. Another way of doing it, so you've got your main line and then a back-to-back uni knot or some other joining knot, and then you've got your trace there. So what we've effectively done is we've got our trace, which is a beefy end, and we've got some hooks on the end of the trace. It's just a way of up strengthening the end of your main line. So for example, if you're using 10 kilo nylon, for example, you might want to put some 40 or 50 pound on the end for your snapper fishing, just to give it a little bit more protection from the snapper who's trying to bust you off on the rocks. So Black Magic's got a few different options available. The first option is our supple trace. Okay, and that's available from £20 through to £120. Supple trace, very easy to tie knots with. If you're fishing over sand, anything that's not really going to bust you off or whatever, the supple trace is a great one to use. The second option that we've got is our Black Magic tough trace, and that's available from £20 right through to £400, quite a popular one with the marlin fishermen. So we'd recommend using tough trace if you're fishing around any sort of rocky structure, reefy areas. Obviously if there's any markers or poles or anything like that, anything that the fish is going to try and aim for to rub you off on, it's very good abrasion resistance, the old Black Magic tough trace. In recent times we've also just released the pink trace, the pink shock leader we've called it, and it's available from £20 through to £150. The pink stuff is somewhere between supple and tough in all fairness, and the texture of the line, so it is a little easier to tie knots with than the tough trace. But the added advantage of the pink is that it's less visible to fish in murkier water, so keep that one up your sleeve as well too. If you're fishing murky water, the pink trace is a good one to go for. The last one to talk about is the Black Magic Fluorocarbon. So Fluorocarbon is really quite a stiff line, quite brittle, but very, very popular if you're going to be lure fishing, like if you're lure fishing, jigging, or top water fishing with stick baits and poppers, etc. It does have a property which is kind of interesting. It makes it very less visible to see what's on the hook or what's on the lure. So a very good way of presenting soft baits, for example. Fly fishermen have been using fluorocarbon for a long time, but fluorocarbon tended to become quite popular when the soft bait fraternity came into its own 15 years ago, sort of thing. So Black Magic Fluorocarbon, £15 right through to £120. So there's some good leaders to think about using. The Black Magic supple, tough and the pink available for around $20. Fluorocarbon a little bit dearer, but you're getting that nice stealth factor at about $30. So good stuff to use, and Black Magic leaders, can't beat them.